Going to get Mayor Bibb in here after a quick word from a brand new sponsor. There's only one Cleveland and one gutter guard for the toughest fans in the world, and that's Leaf Filter. Leaf Filter has been protecting gutters in Northeast Ohio for 20 years. An investment in Leaf Filter is an investment engineered to protect your entire home. Clogged gutters aren't just a nuisance. They can cause extensive water damage, protecting your home from flooding, roof damage, rotting siding, foundational issues, and more. That's why you need Leaf Filter. Schedule your free inspection now and get a limited time. This is a serious offer, guys. A limited time, up to 32% off your entire qualified purchase and 2 free Browns jerseys if you schedule that appointment at leaffilter.com/UCSS. That's a free inspection, up to 32% off, and 2 free Browns jerseys with a qualified purchase at leaffilter.com/UCSS. The offer is valid on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. Full terms and conditions can be found at leaffilter.com/UCSS. See representatives for warranty details. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome in Mayor Bibb to the show.
Mr. Mayor, how are you?
Doing well.
Are you as frustrated as we are about the Guardians?
Well, I'm really nervous. We got a big game tonight.
I know.
We got a big game tonight.
Are you confident?
We're going to win tonight.
All right. I like that.
We need one more game back in Cleveland.
I agree.
Exactly. And I feel like they can win if they, even though they're going to have to face Scooball in that game, I do feel like they can win if they get back home. But I was just mentioning before, they haven't won an elimination game since 1987 against the Yankees.
I was 10 years old.
Man, you're young.
That's crazy, bro. You think about all them accomplishments. I ain't doing it. Listen, my parents weren't proud of me till I was 32. You finally did something with your life, son.
Well, I'm still trying to get my mom's approval. So, you know,
they tough.
That's what life is all about, getting mom's approval.
Oh, I got it. Speaking of approval, before I even got here, they beat my ears up about it. I got to ask. So listen, I used to be a part of the tailgate on
West 6. Yeah.
And it seems that is shut down. People was reaching, G. Bush, you got to ask the mayor what's going on. What happened? I said, I don't know, dog. They just don't got it no more. What's going on with that? And is there an alternative for Browns fans that want to conglomerate and do that type of thing somewhere in the city?
Yeah, we want everybody in our city to enjoy Browns games downtown. The West 6 tailgate has been a big part of Cleveland Browns history for quite some time. Unfortunately, we've had some major issues around public safety. And as the mayor of the city, I have to always prioritize public safety, not just for the folks that are at the tailgate, but for the residents who live in the Warehouse District, for the folks going to those restaurants adjacent to the tailgate. So I've talked to a lot of the guys who've organized that tailgate for the last several years. We want to work together on a safety plan to bring back that tailgate so it's safe, secure, and folks can have a good time, but do it in a safe environment. But right now, we've had so many major issues that I had to prioritize public safety. And we got feedback from the council person, the commander, residents. That's what informed our decision. So bear with us. We'll come back bigger and better next year, but safety is always number one.
It has to be.
Mayor Bibb, what's going on with the Browns, man? I know none of us sitting here thought that we would be in this position.
I thought we'd be 5-0 right now.
Did you really?
What has happened in your eyes when you watch it?
Yeah.
What have you seen?
We've seen minor glimpses of that magic we had last year, but I think the biggest issue has been a lack of identity. We don't have a real identity.
Nope.
And we need to find that identity. Hopefully we can do it against the Eagles. Jalen Hurts a beast. That's going to be a tough game this Sunday. But we have to find a way to build that identity, get a win, and hopefully we can have a better course over the next couple of weeks.
Do you play fantasy football?
I don't have time for fantasy football, man.
You do not?
No.
We should try to get him in our league. What do you think?
It's probably a little bit too late.
Yeah, it's
next year I'll play.
You trying to set that man up?
I might need to outsource my weekly management of the lineup.
Yeah, there you go.
They got boys.
So do half the people in the league already, so don't feel bad, Mayor.
Obviously, there's a lot going on. I don't envy the situation you have to deal with in terms of this Browns stadium. I look at it from an outsider's perspective because I don't know what the financial ramifications. I have no idea. But I look at it from my perspective, and I'm like, well, part of me says you can't let the Browns leave the city of Cleveland. The other part of me says It's the idea of handing money to a billionaire who could pay for every freaking thing by himself is nauseating. That any money that should go, and I don't know where the money comes from. What the hell do I know?
Yeah.
But any money that could go to schools, which obviously need help, fighting crime, infrastructure, whatever. To me, those are all more important things than giving money to a billionaire. But I don't know. And you're in a tough spot. How are you dealing with this situation?
Well, it's been a challenging a couple years trying to get to a deal here.
Yeah.
I will say this. We have a really good working relationship with the Haslams and the entire Browns organization. We've been working over the last several years to get to a yes, to keep them in the city of Cleveland. My administration has offered the most money in the history of the city for a renovation project, nearly $500 million to keep the Browns downtown on the lakefront. Those conversations have been productive, and it's a responsible and competitive deal. A majority of the fees that will support that project are from fees generated from Browns games and other activities in and around the lakefront. And I will say this, did you know last year what was the #1 ranked stadium in the NFL? Lambeau Field, built in 1957. They sell out every game, over 81,000 fans, right? So I still believe we have a competitive asset in our current stadium. The renovation renderings I saw 2 years ago were compelling. Hopefully the public will see those plans, but we have a lot more work to do to get to yes.
And in baseball, Fenway Park, Wrigley Field,
Exactly.
been around over 100 years each.
Yeah,
Great
and listen, I think we all had those memories going to our first Browns game, the pilgrimage to Muni Lot, the pilgrimage to East 9th Street to see them on the lakefront. And I want to make sure that current Browns fans and the next generation of Browns fans still have those same memories.
Let me just clarify real quick. You're saying that there's no money that would go to kids and school.
Yeah.
None of that money is going to.
Yeah, so here's how it's funded. We have several revenue streams.
Yeah.
Admissions tax, so that's for Browns games, Guardians games,
Right.
Cavs games, any concerts that come to Cleveland.
Right.
That funds
Gotcha.
our sports facilities.
Yeah.
Income tax, so all the income tax we levy on the entire roster of the Browns, that goes towards the
Okay.
stadium.
Yeah.
We also have the county sin tax. So basically when you buy any liquor or beer in the county,
Right.
there's a sales tax levied on that beer purchase that goes to finance all of our sports facilities downtown in the city of Cleveland. So those are the revenue streams we're looking at. We've also looked at other things like parking revenue and development rights to give the Browns that mixed-use development stadium fan experience they want, all on the lakefront.
So let me ask you this: Have you guys? I don't know if this is possible. Gambling taxes. Sports gambling is new. They're making money hand over fist.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Is
Marijuana
too.
Is that something that is available, or would that have to go on the ballot and
Yeah.
people would have to vote on? Is that
We'd
something
have
that
to
could
work
be,
with the governor and the legislature to get access to that revenue. But this is going to be a big issue for the state long term. Not only do we have Browns, Guardians, Cavs, we got the Bengals, Blue Jackets, the Crew. So we're going to need further state support to find ways to finance all these facilities, because they are major drivers for our economy. But I have finite resources at City Hall as the mayor. We are still the second poorest big city in the country, and while we're trying to keep a roof on the Browns stadium, I want to make sure Clevelanders have a roof on their head too.
Right.
And all those things, right, don't need to be mutually exclusive, but we need to have the right partnership between the public and private sector to finance these facilities long term.
Well, let me ask you about the Cavs. Let's transition
Yeah.
a little bit about the Cavs. Did you get a chance to see them in their first preseason game?
I saw some highlights. I mean, Evan Mobley looked pretty strong.
That's what I said
I mean,
too.
And the three ball looks a lot better on him this year.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that the reason why they kept the core four together was because Coach Atkinson really knows how to let those guys play, right? And I think he's a player's coach. And so I believe you're going to see a whole different level of energy, swag, looseness out on the court from our Cavs this year. I'm really excited about Cavs basketball season.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
I already predicted that they're winning it all this year.
They're winning it all?
I know they lost to
I
the
think
Bulls.
if the core four
Yeah.
were all healthy, I think we give Boston a run for their money. I really think so.
You're right.
I really think so.
I don't buy it, but
I really think so. I really
I'm rooting for
do.
you to be right.
I really think so. You don't buy it either?
He's not buying that.
Hey, Darius Garland, I need
I'm just
you,
saying.
bro.
Hey,
Darius,
he looked good the other day.
Hey, listen, it hinges on Darius Garland. If he
no, it is just on Evan. Don't
I
do
agree
that.
with Tyvis.
And
It's
everybody's staying healthy too.
Yeah,
And good
yes,
production off the bench.
the health, but Evan Mobley's got to raise his game offensively.
Which he played well in
Yeah.
that last
He
Celtics
does,
game.
but he's got to dominate more as a big man.
And the new rookie from Cal, he might be a sleeper this year.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
He might be a sleeper.
They laughed at me, man.
He might be a
They
sleeper.
laughed at me.
Yeah.
They laughed at
Yeah.
me. You too aggressive. You the Duke of knee jerks. My
Yeah.
knees is moving. Nah, I told you the new dude from Cal. I put him in the starting lineup. I'm not playing
might be
around.
a
I like
sleeper.
He
Tyson.
balled like
He's a
that.
good swing guard, forward, good defense.
Yeah. Move-
Can be a threat. Move the ball around.
Yeah.
Get Donovan open a bit more.
Yeah.
Get Darius open a bit more.
I like that.
I think we're gonna have a lot of.
You've been
success.
watching some games, or they give you some good notes. Either
I watch some games. I watch some games. I watch some games.
I watch House of Cards. Chief of Staff, you move around here.
I had to stop watching House of Cards. It became too much like real life. It was disturbing.
It's very close.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Mayor
But-
Bibb moving around out here. Chief of Staff don't play games with nobody.
But speaking of House of Cards, there's one thing I want to hit on before you leave.
Yeah.
In a political realm, and that's issue one.
Yeah.
Issue one is extremely important. The state, I'll say the state, has purposely put misleading language into the ballot to try to confuse people. It is imperative that people vote yes on issue one.
It's so important. And let me tell you why. The legislative districts for the state of Ohio are not representative of our state.
That's right.
And we don't have a Republican-Democrat problem in Ohio. It's an urban-rural divide, right? So as mayor right now, I can't pass any law on gun safety or gun reform in Cleveland because of the legislature, local control. They've undermined local control, right? And so we need members of the legislature who represent our values in Cleveland. And we need residents, citizens, not politicians, drawing these districts, right? In my opinion, Ohio is still a purple state. We're a moderate state. And we need legislatures in Columbus who represent common sense policies to move Cleveland forward and move the state forward as well too.
And by the way, for those who say this is the only thing that Democrats care about, it's not true.
Republicans care about it too.
That's right. And in fact, a person, I forget her name, I'm sure you'll know it,
Yeah.
a former state judge who is a Republican, who's spearheading this whole thing, right?
Absolutely. And think about this. We've just passed the legalization of recreational marijuana.
Right.
We just codified a woman's right to choice.
That's right.
To choose what she wants to do with her body, not her government, not politicians, her family, her doctor, and her God, right? We're a common sense state, and we need our legislature to reflect that.
Yeah.
Really quick before we go, there's a lot of people who are African American. There's a lot of people who may come from rural places in our state that may be just white, or there's a lot of different people where inflation hits you, they don't have access to health care. What do you say to those people? Because there's a lot of disenfranchised voters out there. What do you say to those individuals, whether they're black, white, purple, whatever the case may be, that feels like the system ain't working for them and they should not be vote? They don't care because voting don't matter. What would you say to those individuals? And then what can you say in terms of giving them information of where they can go vote, times, places, because it's coming up?
Well, number one, we can complain all day. You can complain about the quality of your streets, the quality of your health care, the quality of public safety, the quality of the economy, the quality of your housing. But if you don't vote, then those complaints don't mean anything, because your vote gives you political power that you must exercise. And as a black man, too many people died for me to be able to vote, right? And so even if I wasn't the mayor, I would be talking about the importance of voting, because your voice and your political power matters. So go to your local board of elections. Early voting has already started this week. If you want to see change in Cleveland, change in this state, change in this country, exercise your fundamental God-given right to be a part of the political process, because democracy is not a spectator sport.
That's right. That's right. And right now, in the state of, I believe in Michigan, there's in terms of mail-in ballots or drop-off ballots, I think in Michigan there's one for, it depends on how many people are in each county. And in Ohio, there's only one per county. So Cuyahoga County, which is a massive county, only has one, right?
Yeah.
And it's in downtown Cleveland. But that's crazy.
That's why we need to vote for common sense people,
That's
Democrats, Republicans, Independents,
Yes.
to be a part of the political process. And as a mayor,
Yeah.
I don't have the luxury to be partisan. People want to see progress. They want me
Yes.
to get shit done.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You know, potholes don't have there's no Democratic way to fix a pothole, no Republican way to create a job.
Yeah.
They want the pothole fixed.
Yes.
Right?
We need politicians that want to work for
And
everyone.
Exactly.
we couldn't even get to my question. I've been seeing, it breaks my heart more and more. We're starting to see people, when I come off the highway here, homeless.
Yeah.
People in the tents. People.
Yeah.
It's right up the street.
Right up to
I know,
and
it's very
for me,
sad.
it breaks my heart. And what are some things that the city is doing and trying to do
Yeah.
to do something about the homeless
We're
population?
doing. We've already this year we've housed nearly 60 people in permanent housing, got them off the streets, out of tents, in real homes already right now. And so it's part of our initiative called A Home for Every Neighbor. I put nearly $4 million of investment around this issue, because I don't want to see anybody in our city living in a tent. So we've closed the tent encampment on Payne. We've closed the one on Carnegie. We closed the one in West Park at the RTA Rapid Stop. We're closing as many encampments as we can and getting those folks into homes so they can have dignity and hope and a second chance of being a part of our community.
We appreciate that, man.
Mayor Bibb,
Appreciate
thank you for taking
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Go Guards.